Hello and welcome back to Wanderland. So today we're going to have afternoon tea here at the Andez Hotel right next to Liverpool Station. So come along with me down the rabbit hole and we'll experience it together. Well, hello, we made it inside the Andez Hotel, but we're at their restaurant called the 1901 restaurant. So we're here kind of in the foyer, as you see. There's a long couch and some nice places to sit, and I'm sitting in my own little round table, as you can see, that has two nice fluffy chairs for me to relax in. So let's take a look at what we're going to have today for afternoon tea. I tell you, I was sat down and given my tea tower as quick as you could say, sit down and eat, I tell you. I've never been served this quickly. I'm the only one here right now for afternoon tea, but boy, that was quick. So we've got a three-tiered tower, and on the top I've got four different kinds of patisserie, and then in the middle I have my savory sandwiches, and then at the bottom I have two different kinds of scone, a plain as well as a raisin scone, and then I have a plate on the side with 4 jars of Tiptree strawberry jam. I'm thinking this is probably going to be a rather casual afternoon tea. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think? Afternoon tea here at the 1901 wine bar at the Andez Hotel starts at £45 a person. And if you want to upgrade, you can get some rabbit juice, which what I did. But when I booked this afternoon tea, I said, woohoo, I want a bottle, because that was a couple months ago. I probably shouldn't have gotten a bottle today. I'm just not feeling it. Who am I? But beyond that, let's begin this afternoon tea with a toast to you and me. So here's to you, here's to me, and let's have a lovely afternoon tea. Here's what the deal was with that bottle of champagne. So I'm going to read off of the menu. It says £45 for 2 with a glass of Prosecco. Or you can have £65 for 2 glasses with a bottle of Prosecco. But for £85, you can have afternoon tea and a bottle of the Moet Chandon, like what I did. So I said, hey, it's just me. And she says, well, we don't do half bottles. I said, it's okay, give it to me. So I believe that's what I'm doing. So I'm paying for the bottle of the Moet as well as my afternoon tea. So we'll see what happens on the price. I'll let you know though. We're going to start off this afternoon tea with an H. Foreman and Sons smoked salmon sandwich served on, it says rye bread, but it's really white bread, with lemon, dill, and creme fraiche. So upon inspection of this, I think it was made this morning because it's rather dry on the outside. But you never know, there's lots of salmon in here though. I enjoyed this sandwich very much. It was just your basic smoked salmon and cream cheese. There was a lot of it in there. It says creme fraiche, but it's a little thicker than creme fraiche. So I would say it's a bit more on the cream cheese side, but it was fine. My next sandwich is going to be egg mayonnaise on brown bread with watercress. Did you see that? I saw that. Wow, this was a faux pas. Look at this. Just look at what I did on the floor. You cannot take me anywhere. I mean, if you've been coming down the rabbit hole with me several times, you know, I tell you, afternoon tea does not have to be a stuffy affair because you never know what's going to happen. That is a very, very good egg mayonnaise sandwich. It was really filled with a lot of that filling, and the eggs were cut up coarsely, so there's lots of texture. Watercress gave it a little bit of, peppery seasoning. Yeah, I really liked that one. I thought it was delicious. I've really had very nice customer service so far. From the time I booked this until the time I got here, I was in contact with the restaurant, and they were asking if I had any allergies or if anything that would make my stay even nicer. And since I'm here, and I had to change my reservation one time, and they were completely fine with rescheduling me, and it's just been really great. And my waiter has been so helpful, and he changed over my ice bucket to be a big ice bucket for my rabbit juice so it stays colder. But it's just really nice that he was just right on hand to do that, so good job. My next little sandwich probably doesn't need any big introductions because this is one of the top 4, I would imagine, in the top 4 in the series of what you usually get at an afternoon tea place. This is cucumber with cream cheese and a little bit of mint though. This white bread, it is a little bit tough, unfortunately, unlike the brown bread, which was very soft. So let's give it a try. This was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the cucumbers were actually pickled, so it gave a little bit of a bite, a vinegary bite. And there's a couple layers of these cucumbers as well, and lots of cream cheese. So it wasn't too bad at all if you overlook, the bread that's not soft and pillowy. But, what do you do, right? I did want to mention that the 1901 restaurant and where I am in the little lounge is in a lovely old building. It's all off-white and has lots of friezes up on the walls and such, and high ceilings. I think it's a lovely location. There's beautiful pillars as well, and there's some modern art right behind me, which kind of matches my parrot dress today, which I kind of like. But yeah, it's kind of like old world meets new world, and they're playing some kind of smooth kind of music, I guess is what I would say. I don't know how to describe it, it's kind of just like commercial music. It's nice and relaxing. It's not too intrusive. So I have high hopes for this one, I tell ya. That's why I saved it to the last. This is going to be a roast chicken served on granary bread with truffle mayonnaise and baby Jim lettuce. Oh yeah. Let's hope this one is just gonna knock it out the park. Oh, it smells divine. I was gonna say delightful, but it smells divine. It's very oniony. Don't smell the truffle, but I smell a lot of onion. So this one, the roast chicken, it was so creamy and delicious. Very earthy. The truffle wasn't terribly overpowering, but it was really creamy. If you don't like mayonnaise and such like that, you won't like it, but I do. Yeah, it was so good, it made me dance, dancing in my seat, yeah. Nobody wants to see that, definitely. Nobody wants to see that, but when something tastes that good, I'm gonna do it. Just enjoy your afternoon teas like I do. That's what you have to do. So now is the time for me to look through the menu for my hot tea selection. So I like to have it when I have my patisserie as well as my scones. There's 10 different kinds on this menu today, and what I chose today was the lemongrass and ginger tea. My hot tea just arrived, and look at this teapot. It is so adorable. I love it. It goes so well with the cup and saucer. It is just so beautiful. So let's tip out this tea and see what it's like. Once again, really, look at this teapot. Is that the cutest thing in the world? Oh, so sweet. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I have my lemongrass and ginger tea. Oh, and it smells just like lemongrass. Oh, very grassy and lemony. Oh, well, that was a profound description, wasn't it? But it's the palest of yellows, and I think whatever's in here, it doesn't matter because the teacup is too cute for words. So let's try it. Yeah, tastes like lemongrass. Definitely, yeah, very nice. Very nice. I know they say that in hot weather, you should probably have hot drinks. I'm just not that person. But you know, the lemongrass, it's not too bad at all. But you know, I much more prefer cold rabbit cheese, definitely. If you're interested in these teapots or teacups and saucers and such, they're made by a brand called T2, and it's fine bone china made in China. So you might look it up and find something that you love as much as I do. I have my scone right here. I have a lot of hope and faith for this little scone. I don't know why. It might really surprise me. It smells like a scone. But I've got my jar of Tiptree jam. Yay. Not homemade today, but then I do have my little bit of clotted cream. So let's get this scone fixed and I'll let you know how it goes. I have my very greedy bite of scone with lots of clotted cream and some of this strawberry jam. Cheers. There was nothing wrong with that scone whatsoever. It was just fine. It was a lovely scone. The clotted cream was rather fluffy though. It wasn't that thick, dense, but it was very good. Tiptree jam, always a pleasure, you know. It was fine. You would not be disappointed with your scones and clotted cream and jam course. Well, let's go on to our fourth patisserie. Our first little delicacy is going to be a coconut and lychee cube. It has rich, creamy coconut-infused mousse with chopped lychee. Wow, that sounds good. Perfect for July. So that was very different. I've never been really a fan of lychee. It's kind of a floral yet a fruity taste. There was lots of it cut up throughout that coconut mousse. It was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites. Visually, it was very nice, but I had a bite of it, which was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, it was a very pleasant experience. It's just not something that I would go for another bite for. So our next patisserie is going to be passion fruit cheesecake. It's a set cheesecake covered with passion fruit glaze. Let's try it out. I really like that one. On the bottom of it was a kind of like a biscuit base, but it was a chocolate one, and it was rather crunchy. I think when they first made it, it was more crunchy because it was a little bit of soggy, but not too bad. Passion fruit, bright and joyful, just like the sun. And yeah, it was lovely. It was not your thick New York cheesecake, but it was a fluffy one, which was just fine. I enjoyed it very much. But yeah, a lovely, lovely little dessert. Oh, I know this next one's going to be very, very rich. I mean, look at this. It is a dark chocolate salted caramel tart with layers of salted caramel and chocolate ganache in a tart shell. What more do you want? That was to tell you how rich that was. Chocolate and salted caramel, yeah. It seemed like it was made in a prepared tart base, but the ganache was terribly decadent. Delicious salty caramel, yeah, and a lovely little feather of chocolate on top, yeah. Perfectly beautiful. Yeah, if you love chocolate, you'll be very pleased with that little sweet treat. We're at our last bit of patisserie, and this one is a pink grapefruit choux bun. It is a sweet and tangy grapefruit curd and it's filled in a crispy choux bun. You know, and I do love a choux bun. Let's give it a try and see how it makes out. Makes out? What is that? See, I never know what's gonna come out of my mouth when I talk to you guys. And sometimes I leave it in, sometimes I get it out, but you know what? I'm gonna leave this one in. So on first impressions, it was kind of difficult to get into the choux bun to show you a cross section of it. And I was worried there wasn't gonna be enough of the filling inside. But once I took a quarter of it and put it in my mouth, I definitely tasted the grapefruit. Yeah, it was nice and bright, as grapefruit is. The choux bun was not, you know, your delicate choux bun, but it was okay, it was fine. Taste was fine. If you like grapefruit, you'll be very happy. It was fine. It might have been a little too sharp with my rabbit juice, but that's my own fault, right? But yeah, it was okay. It was a good way to finish up, and yeah, grapefruit, sunny, bright, and zingy. So I am at the end of my afternoon tea, and what did I think? You know, I've done several afternoon teas over the years, and this is gonna go down probably as one that was a nice tea, but it was not very memorable. You know, sometimes things really like stay in my memory about, oh yeah, I remember that place, or I remember that place for that. This place is just, you know, it's just nice along the ways, I would say. There was nothing wrong with it, but there was nothing overly right with it either. I told you before, I think service has been wonderful. The food was a little bit of hit and miss. I think being by myself, especially this one, it made it not so memorable. I think afternoon tea is what you make of it. If there was David here, I think we would have a good time because we'd make it a fun time. But you know, that's on me, that's not on you guys. So, you know, it's fine. Would I come here again? I probably wouldn't. Would I suggest that you come here if you're staying in the Liverpool Street area, especially if you're staying at the Andez Hotel? I would suggest it. Why not? Price point is decent, especially for London. I think it was £49 a person. The atmosphere is nice, it's pretty, nice music. But yeah, for me, I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad I came here because you never know what hidden gems you're going to find in London. That's why you need to keep coming down the rabbit hole with me so I can do them for you, before you do. But beyond that, I want to invite you to please like and subscribe. And I will see you next week down the rabbit hole. And we have quite a fancy afternoon tea coming up next time. I might leave a hint in our comment section on the YouTube page. You never know. But until then, I will see you in Wanderland. Bye-bye.